Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a brand new pick a card reading for you guys today. And today we are looking at your May 2023 predictions. Yes, indeed. So we are going to tap into the energy of May and see what may be on deck for you this month. Because after all, as Justin Timberlake says, it's gonna be May. Or maybe it's already May, depending on when I post this and get this up. Anyways, forgive my very millennial sense of humor with that, but I couldn't help it. I had to. It was a thing. It was a compulsion. It had to come out. Anyways, I have 4 lovely piles laid out here for you guys to select from for today's pick a card reading. But before I dive in and introduce to you guys our piles for the day, I would just ask you to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. And also, drop me a comment down below. Feel free to say hi. I would love to hear from you. Let's have a conversation. And if I wind up resonating with you as a reader, I also want to invite you guys to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell because by doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading goes up, anytime I'm live, anytime there's a new update dealing with anything, basically. You'll be the first to know. So feel free to go ahead and do that. And if I really, really wind up resonating with you as a reader, I also invite you guys to check out my personal readings if you're interested in a personal one, because these here, of course, on YouTube are general and open to the public. They're for the collective. So some things in these readings may resonate, some may not. So if you're really looking to dive deep into things for yourself personally, I would recommend a private reading, obviously. And I would be honored to assist you on your journey in life and help you with whatever crazy chaos you're currently experiencing and going through. So personal readings as well as my own oracle decks, because I do make my own oracle decks and have them available for purchase as well. My oracle decks and personal readings are all over on my website. You can find them at shadowandshine.com. So feel free to head on over there and check that out if you feel prompted to. And finally, you guys, I also want to invite you to my Patreon as well. Patreon is just a super fun place for community, connecting with people who are like-minded, like-hearted, other people who are on the same journey as you. That's one of the main reasons that I created it. So that way then people can find their soul family, their soul tribe, basically. And, sometimes we may not necessarily have people that we connect to or resonate with in our own everyday real life experiences face to face. And sometimes we find them online. So that's basically why I created that space, was for people to connect with one another. At the $5.55 tier and up, you can do just that in the Discord server because those tiers have access to that. But there is the $1 tier, and there is, of course, free membership as well. If you just are curious and just want to come and check it out and you don't want to make any payment commitment, you don't have to make one. The paid people do get daily card pulls and weekly card pulls and that kind of thing. But it's a great community regardless. So we do all kinds of things there, whether it's connecting with one another or, like I said, there are more in-depth readings that I do over on Patreon, so on and so forth. So, if that is something that interests you, of course, I invite you to check out Patreon too. So yeah, basically links to all of that information, whether it is my website, Patreon, or any of my other socials where you would like to connect with me, you can find all that stuff in the description box down below. So feel free to check that out. And, we can continue this journey beyond here on YouTube. Anyways, but we are here on YouTube right now, so let's go ahead and dive into this and see what we need to know for May of 2024. Did I say 2023 earlier? I might have. If I did, forgive me for that. I don't know why I said that. Maybe I just have 2023 in the back of my head. I don't know. But 2024, your May 2024 pick a card reading for sure. Anyways, let's get into this. So like I said, we have 4 different piles, and I'm going to introduce these guys here to you right now. So pile number 1 has the black moonstone. It's not just regular moonstone, it is black moonstone. Sometimes when I hold the crystals up too close to the camera, they come across as being blurry, and I don't want it to be blurry for you guys. So that is black moonstone. Pile number 2, we have some pink tourmaline. Some beautiful pink tourmaline. And these are all basically like palm stones pretty much that you can hold in the palm of your hand. So pink tourmaline. Pile number 3, we have some rose quartz. Gotta love that rose quartz, you know. Everyone loves a little bit of rose quartz. The stone for love. And finally, pile 4, we have some orca agate. I love it. It literally looks like it has like orca whale markings. So, and fun fact, every single one of today's crystals all come from Enlightened Balance Chakra Spa in Crystal Lake, Illinois. A lot of my crystals are actually from there. So, of course, I have crystals from other places too, but they really do have an excellent crystal selection. So if you're ever in the Chicagoland area and seeking a new crystal, I definitely recommend heading in there. Anyways, so those are our 4 different groups, our 4 different selections. So feel free to pick your pile either based upon the crystal, the number, whatever kind of resonates with you and stands out. Just use your intuition to pick your pile out. And you, of course, are welcome to pick out as many piles as you like. If there are more than one that stands out, choose 2, choose 3, choose whatever you want. There is no right or wrong way to do that. So anyways, we're going to dive in here, starting with pile number 1, our black moonstone group. Let's get into it. Hi, pile 1. If you chose black moonstone, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what you need to know for May 2024. And it's funny because I literally just listened back to the introduction video for this, and I did say May 2023 at the beginning. I honestly don't know why I did that. It's not 2023. We are past that. It is 2024, and that's what this reading is intended for. Yeah, so just ignore that minor hiccup in the beginning. Anyways, let's get into your reading, shall we? We're going to start off here with a couple of cards from the Moonology deck. I think it's Moonology Manifestations because there's 2 of them. This is the second one though, so let's see what you guys got. We have full moon in Pisces. Forgive. Ooh, so it seems like forgiveness may be up on deck for you guys in the month of May. Now, this could go one of 2 ways. It could be either you being presented with a situation where you need to extend forgiveness to someone else, or it could be the opposite, and maybe someone needs to extend forgiveness to you and you need to receive that. Or maybe you just need to forgive yourself. So, of course, take this where it resonates, but it could be any one of those potential opportunities. You needing to forgive someone else, yourself, or someone needing to forgive you. Oh, that's weird. One of my crystals just fell as I was talking about that. This crystal's been having problems wanting to fall down like all day. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm just gonna move it there for now. So yeah, forgiveness is on deck, and with Pisces coming through in that, it could be an indication that either you're a Pisces or the person you're connected to in this situation is a Pisces, or there could be strong Pisces elements. Either way, Pisces is a water sign. There's definitely going to be some emotions involved in this time of forgiveness. And you also have first quarter moon in Aries. Step into your power. So I feel like ultimately this act of forgiveness, whoever it's involving, whatever it's dealing with, whether, once again, like I said, whether it's you forgiving someone else or someone else forgiving you, however this lines up, it's a powerful thing to do. It's a brave thing to do, because honestly, it takes more emotional intelligence, it takes more empathy to forgive than to hold on to a grudge. It's easy to hold on to a grudge. It's easy to hold on to those negative emotions and allow that stuff to, eat you alive from the inside out. But it's hard. It's hard being the bigger person. It's hard taking the high road. It can be really challenging to do those things, especially in the face of uh, injustices and things not being fair. And coming from a Libra, I totally understand wanting things to be fair. Um, uh, so it can be hard. It can be hard doing that for sure, but there's power in that. There is power in forgiveness. By forgiving, you're no longer handing your power away, is the thing. Because when we're holding on to things, we're kind of allowing situations, circumstances, people have the power over us. And we're just handing it over. It's like the whole thing of drinking poison and expecting your opponent, expecting your enemy to be the one to fall from the poison, but it winds up being us. So it's that kind of thing. It's about reclaiming your power back, in a sense, through the act of forgiveness, because you're showing that, whatever it is, this is no longer bothering you. This is no longer irritating you. This no longer holds power over you. So that's definitely how it is stepping into your own power. We also have a few cards here from the Millennial Oracle. It only made sense with, the "it's gonna be May" thing. Let's see what you guys need to know from the Millennial Oracle. What is coming through for you guys this month? Breadcrumbing. Avoiding making any real effort, keeping one's options open, mind games, non-committal. So this could be what the situation is about that's been happening leading up to this moment of forgiveness. I kind of get the feeling with this coming through, just putting the pieces together here, I kind of get the feeling that someone has been breadcrumbing you in this situation here. There was a reason that this stepping into your power card came through, in addition to the forgiveness thing. Like I said, about reclaiming your power ultimately through the act of forgiveness. And I feel like, if anything, it's probably more so you who needs to forgive, as opposed to being forgiven. And the person you most likely have to forgive is someone who's been breadcrumbing you, whether it's a romantic connection or if it's a friend who's been avoiding you. But either way, it's someone who's definitely been showing signs of avoidance. And I'm not saying that forgiving them excuses this behavior whatsoever, because this is wrong. This behavior is straight up wrong. If someone doesn't want to hang out with you, doesn't want to talk to you or anything like that, rather than, giving you little niblets here and there to feast on. They should just be straight up with you and say, like if it's a romantic situation, they should just tell you, hey, you're a great person, but I don't think we're a good match. I don't think this is really going to work out. And at least if they say that to you, it releases you to move on, And even if it's like a friend or something, like maybe you guys have grown apart. Maybe it's time to go your own directions. That happens in friendships, and that's okay too. So rather than that friend like breadcrumbing you, still kind of like trying to hold on to the connection, it would actually be better for them to say, hey, you know what, like, I appreciate our friendship so much, but I think we're growing apart. I think we're going in different directions. Um, these people just need to be honest, is what it comes down to. And they're not doing that. You can't force them to be honest, and you can't make them be honest through forgiveness, but you can forgive them just so you can release yourself from being breadcrumbed, and from the situation, so you can just move on, is what it comes down to. It's a release for you at the end of the day. Okay, what else do we have here? Netflix and chill, a romantic chill date at home, sexual chemistry, bait and switch, sexual activity, dating. Okay, well, I think this just confirmed who's breadcrumbing you. I feel like we're almost kind of working backwards in this situation. I feel like Spirit is starting with the end result here of what you need to do, and we're kind of going backwards in the chain of events as to what's been happening that got you to this point. So it does seem like it is a romantic situation. This is not obviously a friend that's breadcrumbing you. But if this was like a Netflix and chill kind of situation, it sounds like it was most likely a situation where you were romantically involved with somebody and it wasn't serious. It was probably a casual connection, a casual hookup. If not a one night stand, it could have been like a just like a friends with benefits kind of thing. And the truth is, you are worth so much more than that. You are so much more valuable than that. And I feel like this has probably been going on since like before May. Like this is probably things that are coming to head in May with like the forgiving and everything else. But we also, this just confirms it right here. Ghosted, whatever you had is over. Left confused and wondering. A disappearing act, no closure. So yeah, this person, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. If I sneeze, I'm sorry. I know it has nothing to do with anything, but I feel it in my nose. I feel your person in my nose. They're going to come out in the form of a booger. No, I'm kidding. That sounds so weird. I have such a strange sense of humor at times. Anyways, yeah, so this was obviously a romantic connection. You guys hooked up. It was a casual fling kind of a thing. And afterwards, I feel like they started with the breadcrumbing, dealing with you, and then ultimately just like got to the point where they up and ghosted. Especially if you had reached out to them maybe a certain amount of times, and maybe they would respond back and kind of breadcrumb you, maybe just enough to maybe get another Netflix and chill kind of experience out of you. But then it was just like, they couldn't get any more out of you, which sounds terrible because I don't want to see any of my people here to be used. Like I said, you guys deserve so much more. But that's probably when they up and poof and ghosted. All right, so let's see what's happening here within my feels. Maybe we can hopefully get in a few positive messages here, because this May looks like a struggle. The struggle is real here for your May, and like I said, I want better for you guys. I totally do. So anyways, In My Feels is my own oracle deck. You can find this on my website, shadowandshine.com, as well as Etsy. Links are in the description box, but let's see what you guys got. Vulnerable, exposed, sensitive, maybe. So I feel like in the end, kind of going off of what's going on here, I feel like this situation has left you feeling very vulnerable. It's left you feeling very exposed. That can happen when we have been taken advantage of in a situation. It's like, you opened up to this person, maybe you shared with them special, private, intimate things that maybe you haven't shared with other people. And it's hurtful when you open up and these kind of results happen. Unfortunately, that is kind of commonplace. I hate the fact that that's commonplace. I hate the fact that that is the landscape of the dating world that we live in these days, but it is a reality of it. And yeah, I feel like in the end, you feel vulnerable and you feel exposed, and indefinitely, it's going to be leaving you feeling very sensitive. Let's see what else we get here. We also have focused, centered, concentrate on the target. So, in kind of like redirecting all this energy, because, like I said, this is a hard situation to deal with. I feel like you need to redirect your energy and become refocused, is what it comes down to. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel all the feelings of going through this situation. You're probably going to feel heartbroken at first. You may have to do some serious crying, and that's okay. Feel all the feelings. Feel it all so you can release it all. Do all that. I feel like all of that has to happen before you can get to a place of forgiveness. Because if you try to forgive without having truly walked through and felt every single one of those emotions, that forgiveness is going to be in vain. And that forgiveness is going to be kind of almost like a cover up, in a sense, to be just like, I'm okay, I'm fine, like, I've got this, and that kind of thing. It's okay to be a mess for a little while. It really is. It's totally fine. So I feel like once you've gotten through all of this, you've processed all the emotions, you've gotten to that place of forgiveness, then it's time to redirect that energy. Then it's time to focus on something new. Focus on something brand new. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to mean like a new person or anything like that, but I feel like you should be, if anything, focused on new goals, new opportunities, things that are going to make you feel good, is what it comes down to. Things that are going to bring you joy, things that are going to bring you peace, things that are going to be healthy for you. Whether it's a new project, whether it's something at work, whether it's something dealing with your family or helping friends or volunteering somewhere or focusing on yourself, maybe in therapy. It could be a lot of different things. You'll know what it is when this comes up. But I feel like either way, like that's where spirit wants you to ultimately go, once you've gotten to that stage of forgiveness. Then we have poor, meager, in lack. Oh, so I don't feel like this is actually about money, this poor card that's coming through. I feel like, if anything, the meager and lack emotion is kind of the emotions you'll be feeling once again coming out of this situation, because obviously this situation is like the big theme at play for the month of May. So yeah, I feel like once this person, they've up and ghosted you, I feel like you're going to feel kind of like this guy, emotionally at least. You're going to feel meager, you're going to feel in lack, you're going to feel like something is missing from your life. It's almost kind of like a very woe is me, feeling sorry for yourself kind of energy. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel sorry for yourself, because I literally did just say before this card came through. You need to feel all the emotions. And if that's one of the emotions you need to feel, and it's an uncomfortable feeling to feel, then I get it. Feel that emotion. Get it done, get it over with, kind of a thing. And finally, we have, and this is a good card to end it on. Thank goodness, because this has been kind of a rough message to deliver for you guys. Finally, we have the whimsical card coming through, magical and enchanting. And once again, if we go back to that focus energy about like redirecting this energy, once we've gone through all the emotions, once we've processed through all the crap, once we've gotten to that place of forgiveness, once we've done all those things, I feel like this is where that new focus needs to go, where that new attention needs to be. And that needs to be on whimsy. It needs to be on something whimsical, magical, hopeful, enchanting. I mean, we have this little girl and she is, dressed up in like a little fairy costume and she's picking flowers. It looks like it could be May where she is. It looks very spring-like. So I feel like, if anything, this is the kind of energy to be embracing once you're at that place where you're ready to finally heal and forgive and move on. It's the place of finding that magic again, being a little kid again, in a sense, and believing in fairy tales and believing in dreams and believing that, not every situation is going to be like this situation, and that magical romance and love still exists, and that you can find magic even completely on your own in your everyday life. So I feel like this is ultimately where you're going to be headed. So it's going to be quite the journey, I would say, over the month of May. Definitely a journey of probably starting it out feeling pretty hurt, not feeling so great about things. But as the month moves on, doing some healing, feeling through it all, repairing, forgiving, refocusing, and finally finding that place of hope and magic again, so you can be on to better and brighter days ahead. So it's quite a month coming up for you guys. Anyways, that's basically what I have for you, Pile 1. If this message didn't apply, let it fly. But if it did make sense, you will know exactly why. So as we wrap this up, I would just ask you guys really quickly to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm, as I said at the beginning of this video. And drop me a comment down below. Let me know how you feel, what's going on, whatever you want to share, feel free to. And also, if I resonate with you as a reader, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading goes up. And, anytime I'm live, anytime there's a new update on anything and everything. So, yeah, I welcome you to subscribe. And aside from subscribing, if I really, really resonate with you as a reader, like I said, personal readings are available over on my website, as well as my oracle decks like this one in my feels. My oracle decks and personal readings are all over on shadowandshine.com, so feel free to check that out. And like I said, I also welcome you guys to join my Patreon too, because it's a pretty fun place. Great community, great place to connect for other readings happening over there, and more, so on and so forth. So whether it's Patreon or checking out my website, whatever it is, I definitely invite you to check out all of those things. Links to those things, as well as my other social media, are once again down in the description box down below. So that's basically it for me here with you guys today. I hope you are having a wonderful and delightful May, and that you do find your whimsy in it. I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the pink tourmaline, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for you for May 2024. I realize I did say May 2023 at the beginning of the video, the pile introduction part. I watched it back and I noticed that, and it's not 2023. It is definitely 2024. I'm filled with all kinds of mistakes today. For you guys in particular, I started doing this reading without the microphone on. Thankfully, I caught myself before I got too far. I was just starting with these two. And then I looked down. I was like, oh, my microphone's not on. I should really turn it on. It's on now, so you should be able to hear me clearly. So, yeah, all mistakes aside, let's get into this. We have two cards to start off here from Moonology Manifestations. And your first one that we have is Last Quarter Moon in Gemini, Clear Your Mind, which makes a lot of sense because, Gemini energy does get very heavy in the mind, heavy in the brain, in that thinking energy. As an air sign. And out of all the three air signs, I would say that's probably something that Gemini would be more prone to than Aquarius or Libra. Speaking as a Libra who had a Gemini dad and has an Aquarius mom. So, I know a thing or two about air signs and how they operate. Anyways, but yeah, so you may have a lot of noise. Yeah, I feel like noise is the best way to describe it. A lot of noise going on in your mind in the month of May, and you just need to clear your head. I don't feel like the noise is necessarily positive or negative. It's kind of neutral in a sense. Like the best way I can describe it is it's like you could be sitting down in the middle of Times Square and you want to meditate, but the problem is you're in the middle of Times Square. Like, that's not the best place to meditate, obviously. It's loud, it's noisy, it's dirty, it's bright with the lights, there are people everywhere, it's congested, it's chaotic. That's not the best place to meditate, obviously. So I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's like there's a traffic jam of thoughts in your head, and that needs to be cleared up in the month of May. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? Last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. So I feel like Spirit is throwing you a bone here on how to clear your mind. Once again, that Gemini energy, it's like you could have all these thoughts in your brain, and maybe your normal way of trying to process through that is just by like talking about it. It's like you think about it, talk about it, think about it, talk about it, talk about it, think about it, talk about it, think about it, so on and so forth. That could be like your normal cycle in terms of doing that. But I feel like that doesn't actually clear things out. It may be kind of like a temporary fix, but I don't feel like that is like the long-term fix that you're really looking for. And I feel like Spirit wants you, instead of being so much up in your head about things and talking about it and thinking about it, drop more so into your heart center and start feeling what it is you're talking about and thinking about. Because chances are there are going to be some kind of emotions attached to what it is that's running through your brain. Whether, once again, these are positive or negative things, but you may just kind of need to feel what you're actually thinking about. So I do feel like Spirit is giving you a little bit of a guide here as to like this is how you're going to clear your head. Stop thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Start feeling what it is that you're actually experiencing here. So that those are some good and helpful tips. So it's not a bad thing. We also have some cards here from the Millennial Oracle. So let's see what the Millennial Oracle has to say for May. Slay, succeeding in something, dominating your competition, on point, amazing job. Okay, so you're going to be the slay queen in the month of May. We love that. So anyways, I feel like with this card coming through in conjunction to what we already have happening here is this is once again extra assurance. It's like an extra boost of confidence here from Spirit, trying to let you know that you can do this. Like you could be looking at this thinking like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to drop into my heart space. I don't know how to feel these things. But I feel like you guys can. You don't give yourself enough credit. You don't give yourself enough confidence in the fact that you can do that. You're not just some airhead walking around talking about things where there's no depth. There's depth. There's definitely depth. So once again, I feel like Spirit is trying to give you some reassurance here that this is something that you can definitely do, and this is something you can be good at. Turnt, a state of being wild, acting wildly, drugs, alcohol, sex at a crazy party, drunk, excited. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, I just noticed something funny about this card that has nothing to do with anything. Um, that's a different thing. Anyways, so yeah, the turnt card. So I don't necessarily feel like the drugs, alcohol, sex at a crazy party thing is necessarily up on deck for the month of May. But when I think of getting turned, I mean, I think of just like having fun in general, like having fun and partying and letting loose. And maybe that's something you need to do. I mean, maybe you have been a little bit too up in your head, a little too up in your thoughts, and this could be another resource to, in a sense, loosening up in a sense. That's the feeling that I get from this card, is like the need to loosen up is what it comes down to. Yeah, just like the need to loosen up. That doesn't mean that you have to get drunk. That doesn't mean you have to, do drugs and do wild things and get crazy or anything like that. But I do feel like it may mean you need to just like let loose, let go, have a little bit of fun. It's almost like releasing control. That's more so the feeling I'm getting here. It's more so the feeling of releasing control, because when we're very much up in our heads and we're doing this kind of stuff, it's like we want to have control over a situation, but the reality is there are more things in life that we can't control than we can control. So you might as well live life and enjoy rather than get all wound up about things. And then we have Cap. What they're saying is not true. Becoming someone you're not. Lies, bullshit, and faking. Okay, so with this one, I feel like this is the stuff that you're up in your head about, is probably some kind of lies, some kind of lack of authenticity and transparency, that there may be someone around you who's been lying. And that doesn't mean that they're like lying about you necessarily, but it seems like, yeah, just like someone's not being real is what it comes down to. And you can probably smell their bullshit from a mile away. You can tell. And that's, I feel like we're now being given a little bit of insight here as to what it is that you've been so up in your head about and thinking about lately. And if that's what it is, if someone is not presenting themselves the right way, if someone is lying, if someone's being fake, it sucks and it's annoying. And I think maybe instead of thinking about it and talking about it and thinking about it and talking about it, number one, if you feel annoyed, feel that emotion. Feel that emotion of annoyance or frustration or aggravation or whatever that is. Feel it and release it. So that way then you can just like slay at this and just like move on. So yeah, so I definitely kind of get that feeling that this is probably about somebody who is not being very transparent. All right, we have some cards here from my own oracle deck in my feels coming through. And we have impulsive, hasty, abrupt. So I feel like this energy kind of ties in with this turn to energy, actually. Because when we do get turned, when we do, just kind of like get a little wild and party and let loose and everything, it is a matter of being impulsive. And once again, I'm not saying that you guys should get like impulsive in an irresponsible kind of way, but I feel like spirit may be saying that like it's okay to be impulsive and take a risk and do something fun. Be outside of like your normal way of being. Be outside of the box, I guess is what it comes down to. Because if you've kind of been stuck up in your head, especially over someone who isn't being who they say they are and they're being fake, and you're kind of like letting this take over your life and your existence, you gotta stop doing that. You gotta start letting loose. You gotta start having some fun. Be a little bit more impulsive about things. Be a little bit more impulsive in a good way, not in a destructive way, not in a toxic way, not in a way that's going to create issues, but, in a way that maybe I just feel like it's going to be like fun and kind of more lighthearted and just help you let go with things is what it comes down to. And we have silly, goofy, weird, funny. So this may be where you need to be more impulsive. Like, I almost kind of get the feeling like whoever's energy it is I'm tapping into, it's kind of like that very typical straight-laced type A kind of personality. Because usually when you're a type A type of personality, you do want everything in its place and you do want everything just as so. And there is a level of being a control freak in this situation, even if it's over, what somebody else is doing, even if it has nothing else to do with you, you may be a little bit like that. And of course, there is a time and a place to have order and have things where they need to be. I'm not saying that that doesn't have value, because it does. It gives very Capricorn vibes is what it comes down to. I'm not saying you're a Capricorn or that's what it is. Maybe you have Capricorn placements or something in your chart. It could even be like that. I feel like almost any earth sign kind of energy. It could also be like the perfectionism of Virgo. It could be the stubbornness of Taurus. But regardless, I feel like there's definitely this sense of just needing to let go, let loose, have fun, get turned, be a little bit more impulsive. And some of that impulsiveness could be letting your freak flag fly. Try saying that 3 times really fast. Freak flag fly. Tongue twister. Anyways, but yeah, let that freak flag fly and be silly, be goofy. Like, you may need a little bit of that this month to just kind of like let loose, be free. All right, let's see what else we have. We got 2 more cards here before we wrap this up. We also have the cynical card coming through. Unbelieving, doubtful. So I feel like this is you on a normal basis. Like, this is how you normally are. Like, this girl, she looks like the epitome of what I just described, with that type A Capricorn, Virgo, critical, Taurus, stubborn, whatever, perfectionism, needing control kind of energy. Because when you do kind of have like this control freak nature about you, you are going to be a little bit more cynical of things that are a bit more chaotic, I guess you could say. And of course, not all chaotic is good chaotic. I completely acknowledge that. Um, but I just feel like I said, you guys need a little bit more free flowing energy here. So, try not to be so critical is what it comes down to. We're trying to break that off of you guys this month. And finally, we have desperate, clingy, frantic. So I feel like this is not going to be easy for you guys. This is going to be a process. I feel like it's much easier for you guys to be in this kind of cynical, type A type of mode. I feel like it's much easier for you to be in your head, is what it comes down to, for you to just talk about it and think about it and everything. That's going to be hard for you to let go of that. It's going to be hard for you to get out of your head and to drop into your heart space and to truly feel things. But I feel like once you guys are able to do that, like I said, you're going to be really good at it. You're going to be able to let loose. You're going to be able to have fun. You're going to be able to be a little bit more impulsive than you normally are. You're going to be able to celebrate and party and have fun. And you're going to be able to be silly and goofy. I feel like there's this inner child inside of you that wants to be silly and wants to be goofy. And maybe you don't let that inner child out to play very much because maybe when you were younger, maybe that inner child wasn't allowed to do that. Maybe you were given a lot of responsibilities at a young age, and that's just kind of how it's always been for you. Um, but regardless, I feel like May is the month to let that child out. Let that child play. Let that child have fun and get goofy and get silly and even make a few mistakes along the way. Like, even if you do make a few mistakes along the way, it's probably not going to be the end of the world and it's going to be just fine. So I definitely, like I said, I feel like holding on to this old nature of yours of being in your head and being cynical and being very type A, it's going to be hard to break. And this is probably a process that you may actually have to work on and work through beyond May, and that's okay. But I feel like this is something that may have to start in the month of May. And who knows, the exchange and the situation happening with this person who is not necessarily authentic and is fake, they may be the person to kind of trigger this evolution inside of you, is what it comes down to. So that's basically what I have for you guys, my pile number 2, my pink tourmaline group for the month of May. If the message did not apply, let it fly, of course. But if it did resonate, you will know why. Before I wrap this up here, you guys, once again, I would just ask that you give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. Drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Don't be shy. Feel free to say hi. Also, if I resonate with you as a reader, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading goes up, every time I'm live, every time there's a brand new anything about anything that's happening here, you'll be the first to know. And if I really, really, really resonate with you as a reader and you're interested in a personal reading, like I said, personal readings and my own oracle decks like this one in my feels is available over on my website, shadowandshine.com. I, of course, would be honored to assist you on your journey. And also, you guys, check out Patreon. There are free memberships there, but the people who have the paid memberships, such as, the weekly card pulls, daily card pulls, all that stuff, they get that at the paid rates, but you can join as a free member as well. I would love to have you regardless. So check me out over on Patreon. It is a great place, a fun place, a great little community. And that is basically that. So I am wishing you guys a very wonderful, blessed, and abundant May. Thank you for stopping on by and hanging out here with me today. I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose rose quartz, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for you May of 2024. That's right, 2024, not 2023, like I said at the beginning of the video. I didn't even catch it until like after the fact. I'm not going to go back and re-record it at this point, obviously. So, oops, oh well, it happens. Actually, I'm going to move the rose quartz here. But yeah, it happens. No big deal. Let's dive in, shall we? Pile 3, what is in store for thee? We're going to kick things off here with your Moonology Manifestations cards and see what you need to know. All right, starting off with New Moon and Aquarius. Open up to change. Okay, so it seems like the month of May is going to bring some changes upon you. I know change can be scary, and as humans, we are definitely creatures of habit, and we usually like things to stay the same. But as they say, as much things stay the same, they change. So it seems like some change is going to be up on deck for you guys during the month of May. And actually, this card kind of gives some springy vibes. I know it's Aquarius, but kind of gives some springy vibes here with like the pink petals on the tree kind of like blooming there in the side. But let's keep going so we can find out maybe what this change is going to be about. New moon in Leo, shine. Okay, well, that's a good thing. So maybe things are going to be changing this month to a place that is going to be beneficial in your favor. Things could be changing to a place where you're going to have the opportunity to shine, is what it comes down to. If you have felt like you've kind of been standing on the sidelines or been just hanging back in the shadows, maybe being like a background character or something like that, there could be a shift coming up in the month of May where you're no longer going to be just blending in the background like a wallflower, and instead there's going to be some kind of opportunity, situation, circumstance, something that is going to put you front and center on display somewhere where you're going to be able to sparkle, shine, radiate, and show off beautiful, wonderful, and amazing you. So I love that energy. That's a great way to kick things off. Let's see what else we need to know about the month of May here. We have a few cards from the Millennial Oracle, so let's see what they bring in. All right, we have flexing, all about themselves, selfish traits, pride, flashy, arrogance, insecure, and boasting. Okay, so I kind of have a different interpretation of this card than what it actually says here. I mean, yes, flexing can definitely be about showing off. And clearly in this picture, you know, we have a girl who's standing here. There are mirrors next to her. She does look kind of like sassy and in control of her life and that kind of thing, right? However, this flexing card, I don't feel like it's to be taken negatively from a boastful or prideful kind of place. I feel like if anything, it's kind of tying into this moment to shine, to step forward and flex. And there are definitely moments and times in life where it's okay to do this, where it's okay to flex. Especially if you have talents and abilities, if you have gifts that should be out there that you should be acknowledged for and recognized for, then yeah, there's a time and a place to flex that. You shouldn't have to like hide those things, or not be applauded for those things, recognized, valued, or anything. So I would take away the negative connotations to this card, because I'm not getting that from this. I feel like it very much so ties into this need to shine energy, and that if anything, you're going to have the chance to flex this month. So whether it is you have a particular talent that you're going to be on display for, or maybe you're going to be recognized for some kind of skill that you're really good at work. It could be something along those lines. But either way, there's something positive here that you're going to be recognized for, that you're going to have an opportunity to flex. So I say seize that, take that. That's not a bad thing. Finesse, getting something in a slick way, smoothing things out, steel, buttering up, persuading, charm. Once again, I feel like the cards that are coming through, like, I feel like the keywords here are what we need to be focusing in on, and are like the positive things. I feel like these cards are kind of carrying very negative connotations. I don't feel like it's true, because obviously, if you're meant to step up and shine in the month of May, and that's a big change for you, I don't feel like being boastful or prideful or being conniving in a sense. I don't feel like Spirit would be nudging any of that for it to be like a bad thing. But when we are stepping up, when we are showing off our abilities in a sense, when we are being recognized for our gifts and for our talents, and we're being showcased in a certain perspective like that, as Shadow is barking in the background. I'm sorry if you hear him barking. They're doing some kind of lawn work or something like that outside right now. That's why. Anyways, but like I said, with the finesse card, it takes a certain amount of finesse. Like, just leave out all the negative stuff there. But it takes a certain amount of finesse. And when I say finesse, it's almost like confidence. A certain amount of confidence and finesse to step into that energy of being able to flex and ultimately shine, is what it comes down to. It takes a certain amount of finesse to do that. And you may not necessarily feel that you have that in you, but I feel like you do. And I don't mean that in that negative way. Like I said, I don't feel like you guys are being slick or buttering anyone up. This card does say persuading charm. And I mean, I would take the persuading part out of there, but I do feel like you guys have a certain way, a certain charm about you to kind of like allow these talents kind of just like sparkle and shine in the upcoming month of May. And then we have simp. Will do anything to win you over. The nice guy, nice girl syndrome. A fool, begging, groveling. Okay, so I feel like if anything, I feel like this is kind of the energy that you're transforming out of, is the nice guy, nice girl energy, which is probably why this more sinister-esque energy kind of comes through for flexing and finesse, because it's like once you transform out of the nice girl, nice guy energy, people may not interpret you to be a pushover anymore, is what it comes down to. People may not see you as so much of a people pleaser. And when you stop doing things for others and you start doing things for yourself, people may interpret that as you being selfish. People may interpret that as you being the bad guy. Now, I don't feel like that you are being the bad guy at all. I feel like that's you stepping into your genuine, authentic self, that's you genuinely and authentically shining, sparkling, flexing your natural talents and abilities, being able to express that with finesse and charm and flow. I feel like that's who you truly are. But that, unfortunately, may be demonized. And that's probably why those negative connotations are attached to those cards, because people initially probably see you as this, as that nice girl, nice guy kind of trope. But I feel like I said, I feel like that's where the change is. That's where the transformation is this month. That you're no longer doing that. That you've kind of like come to realize that being the nice guy or the nice girl, it doesn't really do anything. It's not actually beneficial to you. It's beneficial to others, is what it comes down to. It's not truly authentic at the end of the day. And sometimes when we step into our authentic self, not everyone is necessarily going to like us. And, that can be hard when you want everyone to like you. And I completely get that. I'm a Libra sun and a Libra moon. So, my Libra moon, especially from that emotional perspective, I want to be accepted and I want to be liked by everybody because of that Libra energy. But the reality is, I have to be realistic with myself and know that not everyone is going to like me. There are people who are going to come across to this here video, for example, and I'm not saying everyone's going to hate it. There are going to be people who will probably resonate with it and enjoy it and like it, but there are probably going to be other people who are going to be like, oh, ew, 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 I don't like her. I don't like these cards. I don't like this message. I don't like this, that, or the other thing. And, is that my favorite thing in the world? Of course not. But it's also a reality. Like, it's just the way it is. Especially the more you put yourself out there, the more you are your authentic self, the more you, truly embrace your own voice and put it out there, the more likely that is going to happen. And that's just a reality. And it's something we all have to kind of deal with. Anyways, we have some cards here from In My Feels, my own oracle deck. So let's see what you guys got. Thankful, grateful, content. So, that's always a good thing. I feel like at the end of the day, as long as you guys embrace this inner change, because I feel like this is this change that's ultimately happening for you guys in the month of May. It's not so much external, it's an internal change ultimately within yourself, which will turn external in a sense, because by making those changes internally, that's what's going to bring you to the forefront to shine and sparkle ultimately. But by doing that, by making those changes, you're going to be grateful that you're doing that in the long run. You're going to be thankful that you're doing that, because at the end of the day, you can thank yourself for it. It's an energy to be thankful for simply within yourself, because there's a certain amount of relief that comes into being yourself. Yeah, there are always going to be haters who are going to come along when you're being yourself. And like I said, that's a part of the game. But I feel like at the end of the day, you're going to be much more grateful that you are being you, rather than being fake and being something that you're not for other people. Because I feel like at the end of the day, you're going to realize that being fake is much more of a burden than being authentic and being true and being yourself. That doesn't mean that being yourself is always going to be easy, but it is going to be better. We also have peaceful, calm, tranquil. So I feel like at the end of the day, once again, this change, this transformation here, once you step into your own, once you're sparkling, radiating, shining, being that authentic self, you step into that thankful space, you're also going to be at peace. You're going to feel peace about it. And, that's the truth at the end of the day. We find peace in being who we really are. And a lot of the times, it is other people's expectations, other people's values, societal conditioning, our upbringings, our families, all, religious programming. It's all that other junk that's outside of ourselves that, um, you know, breaks us down into becoming people that we really aren't. So when we're able to break free of all of those other outside expectations and influences, when we truly step into who we really are and we let that freak flag fly, I think I said that in another pile as well. There was another one where I used that phrase. So really stepping into our authentic selves, regardless of what pile you are, seems to be on trend here for the month of May. But once you really do that, you achieve peace on the inside. That doesn't mean it fixes everything happening on the outside, but you do have peace of mind on the inside and peace within yourself. And that is far more valuable than anything else in the world. I mean, think about people, for example, who, are gay, for example, and they go through their lives pretending that they're straight, but they're really not. And then eventually when they come out, it's so freeing for them and it's such a relief. And then they have peace because they're being who they really are is what it comes down to. And that's just not in like the gay community, but that could be in a lot of different types of situations and circumstances. Let's see, what else do we have here? Cloud 9, elated, walking on air. So once again, you guys, we got a lot of positive cards coming through here just from my deck alone, in terms of the results of stepping into your genuine and authentic self. So flex, be you, let that finesse come out, shine, sparkle, be you. Stop being a simp for everybody else. And, you be yourself, you're going to put yourself on cloud 9. It's going to feel great. It's going to feel exhilarating is what it comes down to. And for our last card, we have cranky, crabby, grumpy, grouchy. So I feel like this may be the response of others around you as you are making this change, as you are stepping into your genuine, true, authentic self. They may kind of act like this guy, look like this guy. They're not going to be happy. But don't let them dull your spirit. Don't let them take that away from you. You keeping you. This is their problem. That's a them problem. It's not a you problem. As long as you're not hurting anyone else and you're not hurting yourself, you're fine. You're not doing anything intending harm on anyone. And if this person truly loves you and truly cares about you, even if they feel like this in the beginning, they're going to have to work that out through themselves and of themselves so they can get to that place of accepting the beautiful, wonderful, amazing person that you are. And I certainly hope that they do, because there's no reason that they should allow you being you to steal their joy, because it probably has zero impact on their life. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you guys for the month of May. It's going to be a big month of change and stepping into your genuine and authentic self, and just embrace that, be that, sparkle and shine and radiate and be beautiful and amazing you. So if this message didn't apply, of course, you guys, just let it fly. If it did resonate, you'll know why. And, otherwise, you guys, as I wrap this up here with you today, I would just ask that you give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot right here on the good old YouTube algorithm. And drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Feel free to say hi, share your feelings, share your thoughts, share whatever you like. Also, you guys, if I resonate with you as a reader, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a reading is new and goes live, anytime I go live, anytime there's a brand new update on basically anything or everything, you will be the first in the know. And also, if I really, really resonate with you as a reader, feel free to check out my website, shadowandshine.com. You can order your own personal reading over there. I would be honored, of course, to assist you on your journey. And if you're interested in an oracle deck for yourself, these decks in my feels, that's one of mine. You can find over on my website, and you can order it and take it home for yourself. Finally, you guys, I invite you to join me over on Patreon. Patreon is a fabulous community. It's a great place to connect with others, have daily card pulls, weekly card pulls, all that fun stuff. So I definitely invite you guys to join me over there. So, once again, links to Patreon, my website, other socials, all that good stuff is in the description box right there down below. Anyways, I am going to wrap this up, but I have definitely enjoyed spending time here with you today, and I hope you have enjoyed spending some time with me today as well. So I'm wishing you guys a very blessed and abundant May filled with so many wonderful things. I'm sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose the Orca Agate crystal, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out your May 2024 predictions. And yes, May 2024, because I realized after I recorded the introduction video, I did say May of 2023. That's not what I meant. Don't know why I said that, but this is intended for 2024, obviously. So here we are. And let's start out here with your Moonology manifestation cards. Those are the first ones we are going to be dealing with here. So the first one is full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. What are you guys pissed off about? Like, seriously. Why are you so mad? Okay, so I don't know what's going on. We're going to have to dig in a little bit deeper here, maybe to get some additional context, but it seems like we're heading into May with a ball of emotions, and it seems like Spirit is definitely indicating it's time to tone it down, cool it off. So let's see what else. What else do we got here? Give us a little bit more 411. Full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. Well, clearly there's tension. There's something going on. Your emotions are all up in arms. So naturally, like, there's some tension going on here. So we're feeling tension. We're feeling emotional. This is not an easy start to the month of May. That's for sure. You're getting upset, kind of like Shadow is getting upset at the guys working outside right now. They're doing lawn work out there, and Shadow's getting a little mouthy. So hopefully he's not too mouthy while I do this reading. But let's get some context, more context, because I mean, we know you're upset. We know emotions are running high. We know there's tension happening, probably some kind of conflict up on deck in the month of May. What is this conflict? What are the emotions you're experiencing here? What is the tension that's going on? Maybe the Millennial Oracle will clue us in here. on what this is all about. Mood. The topic for how you're feeling is relatable to them. Relatable feelings, understanding. So it seems like whatever it is that you are experiencing in the month of May, even though emotions are very high strung, even though you're feeling a lot of tension, I feel like it's something that's obviously relatable. um, who knows, you could be simply be tapping into collective energy this month. Maybe you yourself are a very sensitive, empathetic person, and maybe you're just going to be tapping into the energies that are happening collectively right now. Because I feel like it's pretty safe to say, no matter where you are in the world, no matter who you are, no matter what it is you're experiencing personally right now, all of us collectively are experiencing this on some kind of level, experiencing high strung emotions and severe tension. There's a lot of tension happening in the world right now. There's wars going on. Here in the United States, obviously, there are a lot of people who are financially struggling. Inflation is sky high. Wages are stagnant. So many people are struggling. So many people are depressed. So many people are experiencing hardship right now. So even if it's not necessarily on a personal level, you could be experiencing this on the collective level. And like, let's say you're experiencing um, wage stagnation, like you are worth more than what you're being paid, but that's not happening. That's obviously something that's relatable. You go to the grocery store and you see that like a carton of eggs is like $1 billion, and once again, that's relatable. So whatever this is, like I said, it's definitely something that's relatable. It's not like you're being irrational. It's not like what you're feeling is just like, oh, you're just being overly dramatic. You're just, being overly sensitive about this. No, you're not. Like, your feelings are justified. Clearly, there's other people experiencing it too. Swole, hit the gym, muscular, looking good, great body, hard work, physical attraction. So I feel like, oh, hello, Shadow. I have both dogs over here now. There's a dog bed underneath the desk here, and they're both sitting there right now. Hi, you're both so cute. You both decided to join me. You want to help with pile 4? That's so sweet. Okay, anyways. If I could, I would lift them up to show them to you right now, but they're down there, they're comfy, they're cozy, they got blankets. Anyways, so with this energy, I feel like Spirit is giving you an outlet to express those emotions in a sense. Especially if you are experiencing a lot of tension at this time, emotions are high at this time. Sometimes we got to find an outlet to get all of this discomfort out of our systems. So I feel like Spirit is recommending to you right now, exercise, doing something physical, moving your body, just like getting out there and moving your body. It's like what Elle Wood says. Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands. So, get out there, move your body, do a little bit of exercise, get your endorphin count up, because if you're getting endorphins into your body, into your system, changing up the physical mechanisms there, it's going to help release some tension. It's going to help cool the emotions of what you're experiencing, is what it comes down to. So I definitely feel like that's a recommendation. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to the gym. You can go to the gym if that's your method of doing things, if you have like a gym membership or something. But if you're not a gym person, like I'm definitely not a gym person, you can do that through something else. You can do that through dance. You can do that through getting into nature and going on a hike. Just get out there and move. Just move your body. And we have swerve. To change direction abruptly, not interested, to send for a loop, to dodge someone, to dismiss. So usually I feel like this card is kind of like about like relationship stuff, like if someone's like swerving, avoiding you kind of a thing, but I don't feel like that's more so what this is. I feel like what it is more so is about you. I feel like it's almost like about like swerving and dodging a bullet in a sense. Like that's kind of the energy that I get from this is like swerving and dodging a bullet, like dodging a negative situation, dodging something that is not good for you. Um, so yeah, I feel like that's what this is about. And that could come from, like I said, getting out there and exercising, moving your body. But I definitely feel like this is about like changing your own course, changing your own direction in a sense to avoid a negative situation. So I feel like the swerve card here, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's something that you should do. Like swerve, avoid toxic crap, things that are going to bring you down, things that are not going to help you. Swerve away from that. Okay, we have a few cards here from In My Feels. This is my own deck. And let's see what you guys got. Fuzzy, don't remember, unclear. Interesting. I'm going to hold off on this one for just a minute just to see if we get clarity on what this is about. So that one's just going to sit there for a moment. Oh, betrayed. Oh, wow. Bamboozled, fooled. Well, I feel like we just got some insight. Speaking of things being fuzzy, I feel like we just got some insight here as to what you need to cool your emotions about and what the tension is about. Now, that's not to eliminate the whole collective aspect of it, of going through a struggle where everyone else is going through that same struggle, which is relatable. That doesn't mean that doesn't count, because I feel like it definitely so could. But I feel like now this is starting to make sense on a more personal level rather than collective level. So I feel like the reason why you need to cool your emotions and the reason why you are going through so much tension right now is because there's somebody who has recently betrayed you or is going to be betraying you in the month of May. This is definitely a toxic situation. However, the good thing is with this mood card here, I feel like the mood card emphasizes the fact that whatever this person did to you, whatever this person does, in the aftermath of it, it's relatable. It's something that you're not the only one who has experienced going through something like this. Like there's other people, sadly, there are other people who have gone through the same thing. Now, none of you guys should have had to have gone through it, whether it's other people or you. No one should have to go through it. But I feel like this act of betrayal from someone who's probably close to you, could be a close friend, it could be a romantic love interest. But either way, someone's betrayed you heading into the month of May or at some point in the month of May, and their act of betrayal, it's hard, but it's relatable. A lot of people have been through it. So you're not alone in that sense. You're not alone. But I feel like that all makes all the more sense here for this, as it falls, for this swerve card, because ultimately at the end of the day, like them in a sense checking out of your life through betrayal, like that's a good thing, because you don't want to keep someone around like that in your life. You want to swerve away from that. You want to swerve away from that kind of person, because I feel like if you keep someone in your life who does this and betrays you, and then you just like accept them and take them back into your life over and over again, you act like a doormat, then they're going to continue to do this over and over again. You're just going to get betrayed one time after another time after another time. You know, once, shame on them. Twice, shame on you, right? So, you know, it's best to swerve and avoid them, obviously. Like, don't get involved with that anymore. Still keeping this fuzzy card on the side here, though, to kind of get some clarity, ironically, as to what that fuzziness may be. Then we have the festive card, which is quite the opposite energy. Merry, joyful, yes. Interesting. I'm going to put this, I want to see what the final card is to come through, just so I can put the entire picture here together. Okay, this makes sense now. The final card is genuine. Okay, so now it's all starting to make sense. Okay, so anyways, I feel like once you are past this situation here with this person who betrays you, that's where the fuzzy and unclear card comes in, because I feel like moving forward from that, you know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. I feel like that's where, you know, going to the gym may come in handy to you, or just like exercising, working out, to release the emotions, release the tension, release the energy, obviously. But I feel like even in the healing process, even in getting past all of that, it may feel very fuzzy and it may feel very unclear to you, like how it's going to get better in a sense. You may just be kind of like sitting there in that emotion of betrayal, and you may just kind of feel like you can't trust anyone again. You may feel like you can't open your heart to anyone again. You may feel like if you do take a risk and you do decide to be vulnerable and transparent, that, you know, whoever the next person is to come along, they're just going to do the same thing. You may be scared of that. So it may feel very fuzzy and unclear to you how you're ever going to be able to trust people again, and how anyone can actually be a decent person after this. But the good news is, I feel like there is hope after this. There is a second chance after this. Not with the same person, that's for sure. Swerve from that, without a doubt. But I do feel like Spirit wants you to know that yes, there are genuine people out there. There are honest and trustworthy people out there. There are people out there who are not going to betray you, who are not going to backstab you, who are not going to lie to you, cheat on you, whatever the case may be. Not everyone is like that. And I know sometimes it can feel like more people like that out there in the world are like that than not. But there are still good people out there. And we have to believe that to a certain degree at some point, because if we don't, and we don't step out there, and we don't try, and we don't open up, then all we're going to do is isolate. We're going to isolate, we're going to shut down, and that's not healthy. That's not a good thing either. That's just as bad as getting out there and getting hurt by another person. But by isolating yourself and overly protecting yourself, then you wind up being the one hurting you. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't use discernment and that you shouldn't, you know, protect yourself in the sense of like being cautious as you get to know people. Exactly, Shadow. Okay, thank you. He wants to do the reading for us, apparently. No, can you stop, please? Can you stop so I can finish the reading? Can you stop, please? Thank you. Calm down. I'm literally like petting him with my foot right now, trying to calm him down. I think it's because like there's commotion going on out there. Like there's people going in and out of their apartments and he hears like the noise. Anyways, yeah, I know. Woof. Woof to you too. So, anyways, there are still good people out there. And, while it's good to have boundaries and it's good to be cautious about certain things, you can't be cautious to the point where you cut yourself off from civilization and from relationships and connection, period. Because we all need connection. We just need the right kind of connection. We need genuine connections. And I feel like Spirit wants to remind you that genuine, true connections are out there and that you will find that again. And when you do, it is going to bring you so much joy, so much happiness, so much merriment. It's going to make you happy. You're going to feel festive again. It's going to feel good. And I'm not saying that this entire cycle is going to happen all together 100% in the month of May. But I feel like this is definitely going to be a major theme up on deck. Like I said, either this person has already betrayed you or they're going to in the month of May, and that in the month of May, you're really going to be learning a lot about cooling your emotions down, working through that tension, ultimately healing from this situation to set you back up to a point where you're ready to open up to genuine connections again and move on to your happily ever after is what it comes down to. And who knows, maybe a genuine connection will come into your life by the end of May. Who knows? Spirit's timing is wild and crazy, and Spirit can do whatever it wants, right? You just have to go with the flow here and work on your healing. And like I said, it's going to be quite the interesting story that plays out here in the month of May. But I feel like you guys got this. You guys are resilient. You guys are going to be okay. So anyways, that's basically what I have for you for the month of May in your May 2024 pick a card reading. If the message didn't apply, then just let it fly, of course. But if it did resonate, you'll know why. Before I wrap things up here with you guys today, I would just ask you really quick to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot here on the YouTube algorithm. And go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know anytime a brand new video goes up, anytime I'm live, anytime there's a brand new update on anything, everything. Like I said, you guys will be the first in the know. And if I really, really resonate with you guys as a reader, feel free to book a reading with me. So I offer personal readings over on my website, shadowandshine.com. I, of course, would be honored to assist you on your journey. And also, if you're interested in my feels and other oracle decks of mine that I have available for purchase, you can find those over on shadowandshine.com as well. So, that's basically your one-stop shop for everything. And also, I would love to see you guys over on Patreon too. Patreon is a great place to connect. It's a great place for community. And, I have weekly card pulls over there, daily card pulls. There's all kinds of fun stuff happening over there, period, is what it comes down to. So please feel free to join me over on Patreon. It's a good time. What can I say? It is a good time. And I would be honored to have you guys over there. And of course, links to all of that stuff, my Patreon, my website, my other socials, all of that is in the description box down below. And feel free to comment down there too and share and have an exchange with me there because I love hearing from you guys. So that's basically what I have for you guys for the month of May. I am wishing you guys a beautiful, wonderful, and fabulous May. So I will see you guys, of course, in the next video. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling.